Toby, The Secret Mine is an atmospheric puzzle platformer developed by Lucas Navratil Games. The company credits Lucas and only a few other people as having worked on the game, so hats off to them for making it with such a small team. First things first though, let's address the silhouetted white-eyed elephant in the room and look at the game's similarities to Limbo, played as 2010 game of much acclaim. While the small, frail protagonist is up against much larger creatures, dies extremely violent deaths, and solves button-pushing and crate-based puzzles against a minimalist backdrop. The game's description lists Limbos as its first inspiration, so it's not so much that we caught them copying as it is that they beat us to it and called it an homage. To his credit though, Toby does set itself apart from Limbo in a few ways. As the intro quickly shows us, Toby embarks on a quest to save a group of critters. These guys serve as bonus challenges in the game and are more frequent and easily found than Limbo's bonus eggs. It's a good incentive to explore the game. Toby is up against a group of mysterious creatures, all of which look like bigger Tobys with red eyes. For some reason these guys all turn tail and run whenever Toby approaches them, despite them being bigger, scarier, and often loaded up with weapons. This is accompanied by a jarring shift to dramatic chase music, despite our inability to actually catch up to them. Unlike Limbo, Toby's journey also takes him across many different landscapes, and even eventually to the titular mine. This changes up the gameplay and makes it easier to take a break from playing. You also have the ability to backtrack to old levels, which is helpful when you've missed finding a critter, even though it doesn't tell you if you have. As for how Toby controls, which is arguably the most important part of a platformer, as it affects how it feels to play the game, I have to say it feels a little stiff. Toby has very little forward momentum compared to Limbo or even its other inspiration, Nilahambra. This means not only does it take a long time to get from point A to point B, but his jump is also much more vertical than it is horizontal. There is very little wiggle room for a lot of jumps, adding a frustrating level of difficulty. I think the game would have been just as interesting and challenging with a more flexible jump. It also would have been nice if they had recorded more than one jump sound. The puzzles themselves don't often involve more than find the button and push the button, but when it combines exploration, logic, and timing elements, puzzles actually become pretty fun to solve. Toby is out on Steam right now for $10, so grab it now or even when it dips lower during a sale. I think the developers have a lot of potential and supporting them by buying at full price isn't a bad idea. The experience of combining really frustrating platforming with a really soothing atmosphere is an odd one, and I think they do manage to fit the square peg in the round hole. My overall rating for the game would be about a 6 or a 7, probably leaning towards more the 7 side. Here's Toby, The Secret Mine.